It is time. This is Infinite Game. I talk about alternative investments. I also talk about stocks and real estate, the regular stuff too. But right now, it's about sports cars. What's going on in the sports car market? And please like, comment, subscribe because I'm gonna be giving away stuff. I'm gonna be giving away secret advice, things that are gonna make you more money than what you have now. But please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. So please talk to your accountant, your mom, your dad, your grandma, whoever who knows stuff about money, and listen to them. But if you don't listen to me, you won't make anything. So today we're basically we're going to be talking about what's going on in the sports car market and what's going on in the collectible market in general. And I'm going to give a quick synopsis and recap of like what's going on and what you can expect, so you don't lose a ridiculous amount of money and so you can gain some money as well. All right, so here's the thing. Back in 2020, sports cars really went insane. There was the pandemic. Things locked down in March. Stuff was going insane for basketball and also baseball. And then stuff went down, and then vintage stuff going up. And then around May, June, July, and then at the peak was probably August. And then September was still pretty good. And October was when it was really low. Sports cars have gone through this like up and down and dip phase, and there's a chart that hopefully I'll pull up here that'll show what was going on. This is going to be general investing, and this is kind of like the waves of what happens in investing. So in March things went down. It was going crazy, and then it went down because the pandemic and people don't know what to do. But Jordan stuff went up, and a lot of vintage stuff went up because documentaries and stuff like that. No sports was going on. Everything, most things were canceled, and then sports started to come back, and people started throwing money in cards again. That happened, and then it went crazy all the way up to August. A big part of the reason NBA shut down again because of civil rights issues, basically, or protests for civil rights issues. So all that played a part of it, and I think those were the big things that people kind of got scared. It's like, oh shoot, sports cars can they can cancel the season and then stuff will go down. So that was the issue, and this is August of 2020. And stuff started going down, and by October, stuff was pretty much at the bottom, and then stuff started to recover in November and December. Stuff started going crazy because basketball and I think football was going on. Football had its peak, but then started going down through the season, and then baseball was kind of stagnant, I think. So it went crazy because people were basically buying your typical guys and then flipping it to buy vintage because of institutional investors coming in. And you're in this phase where media attention is crazy and the institutional investors are coming in and stuff like that. It was the thing that celebrities and business people were coming in with a bunch of money, and they're going to want LeBron James, Michael Jordan, people like that. They just want the top guys, and this alternative investment. It's going to outperform the stock market, and stuff's just going to go wildly crazy, and everything's going to dry up. That was the thought process. And maybe that could have happened, and people just rushed out. They panicked, they rushed out, and they bought everything they could. Stuff went insane in a year. Michael Jordan 1987 Fleer PSA 10 went from around $1,000 to $82,000 in auction that I saw. And it started happening like January, February time frame all the way to March. That's where it peaked. So let me back right quick. So what happened in August, September, October was a bear trap where you have this steep decline. And then what happened was, thanks to Gary Vee and some other people hyping up the market, basically saying that Charizard and Jordan PSA 10 was going to go over $1 million. Like that. It did not, but it seemed like it was. Michael Jordan 1986 Fleer PSA 10 went up to $172,000, and two of them sold, I think, in the same day. And people were like, oh my gosh, it's going to hit $1 million. And then what's going to happen after that? People didn't really know. And it's like, what the freaking? I need to buy it now before, I can't ever get it again. FOMO, fear of missing out. Anyway, so basically what happened was the market got overheated all up into March, and a couple things happened. NBA Top Shot happened. People were buying NBA Top Shot. It became free money. Those people started selling off their sports cards to buy NBA Top Shot because NFTs were the future. And it's like, I need to get into this now before they get into that. And people started buying NBA Top Shot. Stuff went crazy. Free money. Eventually they just overproduced stuff and stuff started drying up. And then it's like NFTs in general. And then Gary Vee was like, I'm doing NFTs. And then guess what? Crypto was going up too. Stocks was, but it was really crypto. Crypto was going crazy. I'm like, oh shoot, I need to buy crypto. I need to diversify. A lot of people saw it as like flip, so they went into crypto and they went into NFTs. Then what happened was a lot of money left the stock market and the sports car market. And most of those flippers who was really driving the market, mostly, there were investors, and investors are still there. Some of them are starting to get bored and some of them are starting to get out. Long term is still fine. But short term, it's a struggle. And people are like, oh, it's a great time to buy it. And actually, it wasn't for a lot of stuff. Some stuff, yeah. But it's still going on a downtrend. And it will continue to go on a downtrend because we've entered this phase of it's going to be maybe from March till probably 2022, 2023. It's going to go down lower and lower. There's going to be some ups where it kind of goes up, but then it's going to go down even further for a lot of stuff. And a lot of it's going to be modern, some vintage, but a lot of modern stuff. And then over time, a lot of that stuff is going to level out. Some of that stuff is never going to return to what it was. And then what's going to happen is that it's going to start to rebound. It's going to be slow to do it. I think soccer is fine because I still think it's undertapped. And I think tennis will be fine. And I think that's the stuff that people actually should be buying. And also UFC. UFC has been doing well, but I think UFC, the beauty is the long term, not really the short term. Yeah, you got basketball, you got other stuff like that. But people just want to put their money in safe stuff. That's why vintage baseball was kind of going crazy. So what can you expect? Most stuff is going to go down. I think even Tom Brady's going to have a retrace. I think people also, something I didn't mention is that people weren't just buying basketball, football, soccer. I mean, people were buying tennis. People were buying Jay-Z cards. People started getting into Marvel. People started getting into Star Wars. People are already into Yu-Gi-Oh. People are already into Pokemon, I guess. But more people got into that. Magic. People starting to do NFTs, cryptocurrencies. Some people's like, man, maybe I should just get into stocks. People weren't just buying rookie cards of current guys, but guys who were retired. So the market just got diluted. And then also all these other places where to buy cards. My Slabs now, Star Stock, Golden Heritage Auctions, PWCC. Obviously, you still have eBay, but also card shows. Now you buying stuff from card shows. Card shops are opening up. People buying at card shops. People buying at flea markets. People, buying everywhere. And then also you're going to have people trying to buy Kim Kardashian cards, Justin Bieber cards, rapper cards, right? Like if you're a celebrity, they're trying to buy their card. And then the shoe market started to take off. Sports memorabilia starts to take off, and people just start buying all this stuff. That's what happened. It just got diluted, and people are just trying to buy anything and everything. And it's just not going to be concentrated anymore. There may be some bit of that, but it won't be as crazy as it was before. And I think over time, stuff is going to go up. But right now, probably for the next year or two, stuff is going to go down. And honestly, what I think is going to happen is overall, there's still going to be overall a down trace, especially in like basketball. I think football is going to crash even more. And I think soccer is going to get it too. I think people are going to be like, yo, I got to get 2022 World Cup. And people are going to buy stuff, and World Cup stuff is going to go up. probably January, February, March time frame, but people are gonna realize that like, hey, it's not until December, and I think a lot of people are gonna buy stuff up before the World Series. I mean the World Cup, and then sell it before. And the World Cup is gonna be down unless somebody's going insane. It depends on when the NFT market is gonna crash, which that's interesting. It may crash in 2022, which would be very interesting because those people may go into soccer, and I think that's quite possible. Also, F1. People are really into F1, and then UFC. Those two are hot now. I think UFC will have a retrace for cards pretty soon. Next year, I wouldn't say pretty soon, but I say next year it will. Because I think it's gonna get so hot that most people are gonna buy it, and then F1 is gonna have a retrace next year. You kind of seen it in baseball, basketball, football, and I think the newer stuff like soccer, F1, UFC is gonna have that retrace. Tennis has already kind of had that. And then Yu-Gi-Oh has been pretty stable. Pokemon has been pretty stable. Also, the other thing is video games. People have been buying video games, graded video games. I'm gonna make a video about my graded video games I bought. I think it's a great move. And also comic books. People have been buying comic books. I think that's a great move too. So more people are gonna go into that. I mean, it's still comic book cards, still Star Wars cards, still Harry Potter and Dragon Ball Z and Digimon have been going up. Oh, I forgot that did go up. Guess what? That stuff been going up too. So that's really what's been going on. I think sports cards are still a buy, but I think the best thing if you want to make money and really decrease your risk of losing money, instead of buying $500 cards, buy one $5,000 card. And also, here's the biggest thing. Please, if you made it to the end of this is the big thing. This is the punchline here. The economy is going to struggle for the United States, and I think things are going to, inflation is going to hurt poor and middle class people. And poor middle class people probably afford things anywhere from the $100 to $2,000 range for cards. Honestly, $1 to $2,000 range for cards, and maybe $3,000. That stuff is gonna get hit hard. Anything under $3,000 is gonna get hit hard. And I think you want to be buying stuff that's gonna be in the tens of thousands of dollars, if possible, or above 5,000. That's the stuff you want to go after. If it's above 5,000, preferably 7,000, 8,000 range or higher, I think you're good. Stuff cheaper than that, especially for vintage stuff. Stuff cheaper than that is in serious danger for a retrace. It's a great buying opportunity, but I think you're in serious danger. And yeah, I think that's the big thing. So I think you should be consolidating into less cards and buying stuff that's actually going to be valuable. And those $10,000 cards from 20, 30, 40 years from now will be $100,000, maybe $1 million cards. This is very, very valuable advice. I know I kind of went on a tangent, but please, if you need to, rewatch it again. But please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'm going to be coming out with more stuff. Deuces.